make a proper beef stew and dumplings for the family, shall we? We'll stick a pan down on the heat, oil in, then we go in with the beef. When we've got a nice colour like that, give it a flip. Don't cook it through, just brown on the outside, and don't overcrowd the pan, do it in batches. Little pinch of salty flavour. Grab this free with my recipe book. And some black pepper. Take it out, stick it on the plate, just leave it to rest. Now we don't want to waste the flavour in the pan. I'm going to grab some stock, stick it in the pan, give it a good scrape. Give it a little taste, make sure it's not burnt. And then we'll stick it into the stock. Now grab your veg, chop it up. We've got a good colour, good variety. I'm literally just using up whatever's in the bottom of the fridge. There are no rules. Stick a big pot on the heat with a good glug of oil, and then go in with your root veggies. Get some pepper in, and a good pinch of salty flavours. Then after a few minutes, in with your other veggies. And then in with your stock, and the beef back in. And then we'll get some thyme in there, parsley, and a bay leaf. Now I want to stick a lid on this and just leave it. You can do 150 degrees for like 2.5 hours. But I'm going to do about 100 degrees for like double that, because I want dinner tonight. Okay, we've got about half an hour left, so grab a bowl. Then about 250 grams of self-raising flour. And then half the amount of butter. And we're going to grate it in, because it just makes it so much easier. Then get the fingers in. Add a few tablespoons of water. Turn it into dough like this. And then put it into 4 balls. And we'll get your stew out. Oh, we're looking fit. And then just pop your dumplings in on top. Lid on, and then back in for 20 minutes. Then we'll have it out, and we'll have the lid off. Yes. Definitely could have done like 8 smaller dumplings, but I like them nice and juicy. And just leave it to rest, chill out for like 5 minutes or so. And we'll just get it plated up. Just get that big dumpling out. Yeah, mate. Juices, flavours, a few chives over the top, and we're done, mate. This is a banger. Proper like warming. Great for the family, great even for meal prep as well. It's healthy, full of fibre. Use all the veggies in your fridge, get your good protein in there, make some dumplings, crack on. Lots of love. See you in a bit.
Marry Me chicken pasta, a delectable recipe. It's so good. I'm happily married, so you gotta marry this recipe. Let's get into it. First things first, after your 5 chicken thighs have been washed and dried, cube them up, hit them with some oil, and season with the following spices. From there, add them to a hot pan. Let them sit for about 15 minutes. Give it a nice mix, and then once you have a final temperature of 165, take them off. In the same pan with all that flavor, let's come in with some peppers and onions. Add some tomato paste, give it a nice mix so everything is broken down. Add some half and half, and then season with the following spices on the screen. At this point, it's getting nice and thick, so go ahead and give it a nice stir. Come in with a little bit of Parmesan cheese just to thicken it up some more. Add some of that chicken, and it's so good, but we're not done. Come in with some spinach and let it cook down. When it comes to pasta, always salt the water. We're doing some Mouthwatering. Let that cook through. At this point, introduce your pasta to an amazing sauce. Give it a mix. Add some parsley. Try it out.
This has got to be one of my favourite comfort foods. Grilled cheese toasty.
Here's what to make if you only have 10 minutes for breakfast. So I'm making miso butter with sweet miso paste and room temperature butter, along with a pinch of salt. Then I'm toasting some bread until it's crispy and browned. Layer on the miso butter, and then add chili oil to a pot and add your egg. Cook until the edges are nice and crispy, and then finish off with a sprinkle of fettuccine.
So it's about that time of year where y'all gonna start to get everybody and their mama's macaroni and cheese recipe. This is gonna be the only one that you need. It's top 2 and it's not 2. Let me show you how to get down. So if you're struggling, trying to figure out what cheeses to use, I'm using some smoked Gouda, some cheddar cheese, and some Colby Jack cheese. I'm also gonna use about 6 ounces of mozzarella, but you'll see where I place that later. I like to split these in half because I like to shred some and then cube some to go in the macaroni. Now you can go ahead and use that KitchenAid attachment that you guys got, but I'm shredding this by hand. Food is a labor of love. Once you get that cheese all shredded up, it's time to boil that elbow macaroni. Get those elbows into some salted boiling water, and we're using the ones that are plain, not the ones with the ridges, not those large ones, just a plain elbow macaroni. Now for the custard, I'm going to use 1 egg. You could use 2 usually for this size, but I'm using 1 egg, 2 cups of evaporated milk, and 1 cup of whole milk. My grandma used some seasoning salt, so I'm going to use a little bit of that, but then also I'm adding some nature seasoning as well. You can add some ground mustard to this, some smoked paprika, even a touch of cayenne, and it's perfect. Anyways, strain that elbow macaroni and get it into a large bowl. Now let's build this macaroni. I put a stick of butter in the macaroni. I let that melt and coat the noodles. Then I went ahead and put 3/4 of a cup of sour cream, coated all the macaroni with that, and added about a handful of that cheese. Now start to work in that custard. Give this a good mix, and after a little bit of mixing, it's going to look just like this. Go ahead and hit it with some salt and pepper if need be. Keep on mixing and get this into an ungreased baking dish. Fill that thing up about halfway, and here's where we're going to come with that shredded mozzarella cheese in the middle. This is how your favorite content creators get that nice cheese pull y'all be seeing. Fill the rest of it up with the rest of that mac. Let this lay down and then cover the top with the rest of that cheese that you have. And if it's not fully covered, go ahead and add some more. Loosely cover this with some foil, get it into a 350-degree oven for about 20 minutes covered, 20 minutes uncovered. Look, if you don't have a crust on top of this thing, put it back in and hit it with a little broil. This is flavorful, creamy, well-seasoned. It's cheesy, and the middle and the edges hit. So like I said, after you try this macaroni recipe out, you're really going to feel like you did your big one. Thanksgiving coming up, so don't let this be the first time that you try this recipe out. Let me know when you do, and you already know it's a wrap. Let's go.
Oh my, today we are making chocolate bark, up and down as well. Oh my, look at it. Some brownie M&Ms. Let's just go crazy with them, really, all over. This is good fun to do. Just like, cookie go in there, cookie go in there. Okay, we're doing like mini pieces of Biscoff, because everyone loves the Biscoff. Where are the jammy Dodgers gonna go? I know everyone in the comments is like, is that it? Is that all the Biscoff? I'm gonna do a bit more Biscoff for you then. God, it's actually a work of art when you think about it. This is a very fun thing to do with your kids, if you have any. Otherwise, fun to do with your friends, if you have any. Or you just do it by yourself, like me. Right, jammy Dodgers, going on. This is now going in the fridge. E mambo, e Italiano, e mambo. So this has been in the fridge for 20 minutes. Let's break it up. I don't think there's any other better way to do this than apart from this. Right, that didn't work. I guess you just break it up. Chocolate bark. It's good. Damn! Right, well I'm gonna eat the whole thing. Try this at home and tag me in a picture. Let me know what toppings you use.
I'm going to show you how to make the most unreal smash burgers at home for around £3 each. So we bought the lean beef steak mince and we used about 1/4 of it that was in the packet. We then just got a plain large bowl out and added all the meat into it because this is where you'll mix in all the seasoning. We then added in a drizzle of olive oil and then we went in with some salt and some pepper. We add quite a lot of salt and pepper just so it gives lots of nice seasoning to the burger. You can add in whatever spices you want, but we then added in some Cajun seasoning and also some garlic granules. And I think this literally makes them taste exactly like the Five Guys ones. Literally so delicious. We then just started mixing all of the ingredients together with our hands, and you have to do this with the meat. I know it's quite disgusting, but this is what you have to do to get it all mixed together, and then you can obviously like lay it out ready for the burgers. Whilst Jordan was doing that, I then chopped up some onions to fry in the pan. This is then what the meat looked like. This is it flattened. So basically to flatten it, you just put it in a bowl, put some grease-proof paper over the top, and we just flattened it with a potato masher, but you could use anything. And then you just peel the grease-proof paper off, and then it's a smash burger. So I fried all the onions in some oil and then put them to one side, chopped up some gherkins, then we started putting the smash burgers in the pan to fry them. They don't take long at all to cook, and what we did was we added a slice of cheese on as well whilst they're in the pan to melt it. Then got the buns out. You can also toast these if you want to, but I just prefer my brioche buns not toasted. There was no burger sauce left at the shop, which was so annoying, so we had to use mayo. But you just squirt a bit on your bread bun and then spread it all over with the back of a spoon. This is us just adding the cheese on top of the burgers, and then you leave it on for another 2 minutes to melt them. Added it into the bun, and then I added on some lettuce, some gherkins and onions. Then you put the other bun on top and you squash it down. These are literally so delicious. They taste exactly the same, less than £3, and they're so quick and easy to make.